walking fast, so I'm going to be talking fast, but I think it's important that you hear. If you've been trying to make money using your 3D printer, you are in the right place. Because now we live in a day and age where you actually can do that. A while back, I purchased a 3D printer with the goal of creating this prototype, and the specific prototype for a product that I was working on, and I didn't finish the prototype, or I came up with the prototype but didn't really know how to sell it, and I still have to work out its kinks. Still got to work out the sizing, and I've been busy. Okay, but in today's video, I'm going to give you not the prototype, but I'm going to give you basically a full 3D printing business that should be relatively obvious if you spent any time online, if you spent any time on TikTok. But I'm going to give it to you with a new angle to it. All right. So if that's what you're into, you know exactly what to do. Now, I did come up with the idea myself, but of course today's presentation is being brought to you by ChatGPT. They need an affiliate code of some sort, but they don't have one. So let me find my gallery really quickly and bring this up for you. Like I said, you may hear me out of breath. You may hear a car going off in the background. If you don't, that's because I cleaned it up a bit. All right. But I definitely need to make sure that I'm on time to keep my job until I don't have to keep my job no more. So as you can see, today what we're going to do is build a 3D printing business with Dummy 13. Print once, partner with creators, and let others sell for you. That's going to be the main thing. Let others sell for you. And I really want you to get into that. Just in general, with working with me, we got to figure out ways to get others to sell for us. Okay. So let's zoom in on what's going on here. All right. So there's cool features everywhere. There's cool figures everywhere that I discovered while I was online a couple days back. That if I had the money to waste, I definitely would get them. We don't play with toys like we used to anymore. I had Ninja Turtles. I had Power Rangers. And I can't even say it's not we, the kids. They don't play with toys anymore. But if I didn't have to go to work, toys would probably be one of the things that I definitely would spend my money on. So Dummy 13 is everywhere. That's not necessarily what it looks like, but you get the gist, right? I may show some clips later on of just exactly what I'm talking about. But as you can see, this is ChatGPT's version of Dummy 13. And what makes Dummy 13 so cool is the fact that it's highly customizable, and thus people have started businesses with Dummy 13. You got different sellers all over the place. If you look on ChatGPT and have it give you a listing, or if you take and look on TikTok, if you go look there, again, get the whole listing, you'll see a plethora of different types, different versions of Dummy 13. And this is because, again, if you have something like Blender or any other 3D modeling software and you know your way around it, you can turn Dummy 13 models into anything. So I saw, in fact, one of the things that was the most inspiring and one of the things that made me really want to make this video is the fact that there are a series of videos of companies who specialize in making Dummy 13 models using, using anime and comic book references. Okay, so I recently saw a company who is making Dummy 13 models of Mark from Invincible. And I want to say JoJo, but it's not JoJo or Jugero. I forget the name of the anime guys. But it's from Jujutsu Kaisen. I saw they had, they definitely made some 3D models. But again, Dummy 13 versions. And these models are also not necessarily super detailed. And so like it's missing certain elements or certain aspects, which could create a vague, like it's a vague facsimile of the model or of the character. So that way they don't get, that way they don't get, what's the word, sued. Okay, you don't want them to get sued, or they don't want to get sued. So this made me think, why did I spend $300 on a printer that I'm not really using that much, right? And is there a way to finally use it to make money? The question or the answer is, to me, yes. All right. So if your printer has been sitting there collecting that dust, surprisingly, my printer is in a quite dusty area. And yet somehow, out of all the things that are dusty in that area, my printer is not one of them. It's odd, but that's beside the point. Let's turn that plastic that you got over there into income, okay? So here's the business model. You do the printing. Others sell basically through affiliates, right? You package everything. You fulfill the order. And then you make your profits, okay? So your focus is going to be design, print, package, ship repeatedly over and over again. And again, affiliates do the heavy lifting. Affiliates do the heavy selling and getting the product in front of people, okay? And the cool thing about that is the fact that printing, man, plastic is relatively cheap, relatively inexpensive, all right? Now, here's a new angle, okay? Because I do think those individuals who are willing to print anime figurines, right, in Dummy 13 version, comic book characters in Dummy 13 versions, I think they're playing with a they're right on the cusp, right on the edge of destruction, okay? As we all know, even on the YouTube, on the TikTok, copyright is always very close behind you, okay? I cannot even really download a video from TikTok and release it to any other platform without at least removing the music, even though the music on there might be just a few seconds, right? So there's no telling what can happen when it comes to 3D printing, and more specifically, when it comes to 3D printing likenesses of specific characters. And I don't want you to succumb or be beholden to having that issue later on. So I'm not going to tell you to do that. Instead, what I want you to do is find independent creators, okay? Find independent creators. And then I want you to reach out, through your DMs, through your emails, whatever the case may be, and get a licensing agreement. Me personally, the licensing agreement would be basically give them the bulk of the bread and you get a small amount of the bread, because they're selling in the long run, okay? So you will create Dummy 13s, but in the style of characters from this individual's catalog. So maybe they're a comic book creator. They have characters and they need other things to sell. Sad to say, not everybody wants to read a comic book to get into the lore. People would much rather watch cartoons or animes to get into the lore. And that's if the story is interesting enough to stop them from watching and doing all the things that they're already watching and doing. Okay? A figure, to me, is another form or another thing to tack on to what it is that they're already selling. So if they're selling a comic book and the comic book came with figures, I feel like more people would want the comic book because it comes with the figures. You know? Something a little bit more tangible because people want to touch, right? So that tactile feedback, could entice people. I think also comic book creators need to hurry up and make video games for their comic books, for their characters. But we'll get on that in another video, okay? So once the prototype is approved of how it's going to look as a dummy 13 model, you send it off, you get it approved, and then now it's listed as an order. This is the cool thing about this. Because you have a 3D printer, you don't have to have the inventory right now. It doesn't have to be something that's ready, okay? It just literally has to be something documented, has to be something with a visual representation or a picture, and then you only print when an order is received. All right? So let me move my face a little bit more. So you print the figures, make sure it's good quality. All right? Me personally, I think we got to go to PTG. PLA is cheaper, but I don't think it's strong enough. For me, in my personal experience, I find that when I print things in it, they're still very breakable. Okay? I think the solution to that could be resin, maybe making them resin dipped. But when you're talking about very small margins like this, as far as fit is concerned, that's not going to help. Okay? So I believe the proper solution is going to be, at least at minimum, if you must print in PTG. Then your packaging, okay? Branded packaging. So this could be twofold, right? Because you can have your own packaging that you go through, or you can have the packaging be geared towards your customer, who is the creator, right? So now the creator will have two things that they can sell. They can sell their comic books alongside of their 3D models, their dummy 13 models with the characters, right? And so you got to put that into the box, all right? But the box can have their logo on it, stamped on it, a sticker on it. I would suggest you get stickers, and boom, you do it from there, right? Stickers and all that. You ship to fulfill the orders. And then also, last but most certainly not least, you set it up to where there's an affiliate program. The affiliate program is either for you, or again, it's for your customer who is the comic book creator or the anime creator, or it could be an artist. It could be a music artist who wants to sell figurines of themselves, right? There's so many avenues you can really go down with this. Long and short, though, you set up an affiliate program. How do you set up the affiliate program? Let me see if ChatGPT remembered that. All right, it didn't. It didn't remember that. So the way you set up an affiliate program is going to be through an application or a software or a platform like WHOP, WHOP. They allow you to set it up to where you can have an affiliate program so that people can have their own links by signing up. They can have their own links connected to your specific products. One of your products or a few of your products could be belonging to the artist that you already talk to, that you already contact, so that even that artist doesn't necessarily have to sell their own product. Someone else is assisting in selling the product. Okay? And that way it's not all beholden to you, right? So I think this is pretty good. I think this is pretty well. And only special kind of people are going to be able to do this, okay? Because the tools you're going to need is a 3D printer. So if you don't already have a 3D printer, this is not the video for you, okay? Unless you're willing. If you're willing, I think this is really profitable and probable. And the reason why I say that is because I think at the end of the day, when people purchase, they would much rather have something tangible. Right now, I'm developing a book called The Project Finisher. It's mostly geared toward game creators. However, anyone can use the information within it. And I developed a book because I know it's a lot of people who only learn from and who only do when they have tangible means to go about doing that thing. And what I mean by that is, in the book, there's pages that you actually write your information down on. Okay? So since you have to write your information down on there, and you can really flip through your pages and touch, and you can feel the muscle memory of writing letters on lines, you may be more inclined to actually execute on the tasks within inside. And so that's why I did that. You can find the book linked somewhere alongside this video. And if it's not there, you should be seeing a sign up for it. Okay? All right. Nonetheless, you're going to need a 3D printer. You're going to need the filament, PETG. It's a little bit more expensive than PLA. I would suggest that the PLA be used as a mock, right? So when you want to do tests, you use the mock, the PLA. And when you're ready to do people's official print, you use the PETG. Okay? Or the PETG for short. All right? Now, the cool thing is you can also use ChatGPT. And what I mean by that is this will be for either one of the following, either your mock ads, right? Or it can be also for mock ad images, logo designs for the boxes. And there's another one. Oh, and different designs for the Dummy 13. You will feed an image of Dummy 13 within, and then you will use the person, you would ask them accordingly though. You would say, hey, I'm going to use AI to make a mock version of Dummy 13 in the style of this character. Is that okay? If they say yes, then you have AI do that. If they say no, you can still download Dummy 13 and recolor it and redesign it inside of Blender and manipulate it through there if you know how to do that, okay? The ChatGPT version is just a faster, easier way to do it. But if you know your way around Blender, that's actually more fun, okay? So here, ChatGPT says this the estimated startup cost, which is the printer is going to be $200 to $400, filament maybe $250, tools and supplies, so that's boxes and glue and stuff like that, tape, and other things maybe $100, packaging supplies, same thing, maybe $100, $150, and then some miscellaneous items, random stuff, $150. So total startup cost could be $500, okay, or it could be $1,000. All right, but again, that's also if you don't have the printer already. Okay, now after that, the way you're going to be selling it, like I said, is through these actual creators. They're going to be handling the bulk of the work. Next, you also have your affiliate marketing program, which is going to be handled through, at least at minimum, WHOP. WHOP. All right. And I don't know if Whatnot exists. ChatGPT gave that. I think it's just confusing the way I speak. So that's why it's like that. But there is a program. There is a current up and coming website that can actually host 3D models, 3D files, and will assist with the selling of those 3D files. Not only that, but I believe it also assists with trademark and things of that nature, copyright for your 3D files. And supposedly they have a list of potential marketeurs who will print those 3D models for you and sell them for you. So really all you have to do is come up with good designs. So I'm gonna look further into that, but I'm just gonna put that out there, okay? So by doing it this way, like I said, you're gonna mitigate copyright risk, right? And because you're gonna have original characters and licensed IP, right? I think there is a creator who created the Impound universe who's currently getting it animated, which will ultimately result in people wanting a video game, okay? And which ultimately is going to also result in people wanting the action figures. So you can actually take and contact him and say, hey, I'm willing to do this for you at this price point. I would just need you to advertise it, you know? So think about the bigger vision, okay? And see if there's an easy way to see if this is for you. The cool thing about being online right now is that after you check how much it's going to cost, right? You can actually check how much it costs to print a dummy 13 model, right? So that tells you how much filament you're going to use and how much it's going to cost per person, right? You could actually take that information and run with it if that is something you're actually willing to do. You don't necessarily have to start printing right now. You only print literally when you get an order, okay? So what I want you to do now is I want you to go and make a list of up and coming indie creators, okay? Whether they're making video games, whether they're making comic books, whether they're singers, like musicians of some sort, and let them know you're interested in creating a 3D model of them or for them, or of their characters, and again, for them. And all you need is for them to sell it, okay? Go look at the pricing points of the current Dummy 13 action figures on the TikTok shop. Look at the pricing point there and see how it correlates with what you currently have at hand, right? Or what you're currently willing to spend your money on. Go look that up, okay? And then from there, you deduce or you decide whether or not this is an opportunity for you, okay? Yeah. So I don't know if I introduced myself, but I am Sean, the host of this here channel known as Note to Self. It's a show where we typically use AI to expedite the online money-making process. At the same time, though, we're just trying to get out of the prototypical 9-to-5 and be able to do what we want to do, when we want to do it, how we want to do it, with who we want to do it with. And we know that means that we need to get into business. So if this video is something that you enjoyed, definitely take the time to like and subscribe. And I'm hoping to make a better one for you in the future. I'm almost at work, so let me get there. I'll see you guys.